Hi, so today I'm going to show you how to make strawberries and cream, which was a decadent Victorian era treat that people enjoyed at strawberry fetes and festivals, also at other gatherings. One gathering they would serve this was called a kettledrum, which was an informal afternoon or early evening celebration where they would get together and have a light meal. And strawberries and cream were often served at the end of that. And the reason I wanted to show you this recipe too, because I adapted it from a magazine called Household Words, which was a literary magazine that Charles Dickens edited in the 1850s. And then his son, Charles Dickens Jr., revived it in the 1880s and continued through 1905. So he's the epitome of the Victorian era, so it's really nice to kind of have that touchstone to something that he did as well. And this recipe is so simple and delicious. It's just 3 ingredients: strawberries, cream, and sugar. So, and I already did this ahead of time, but what you want to do is get a really large bowl because you're going to mash the strawberries with, I use a pastry cutter. You can also use just like a fork or back of a fork. So I already mashed, and you want to take a carton of strawberries, which is, you get them in the store. It's about 16 ounces. And if you can find, the freshest strawberries, the better, because it's, you want to really mush them with this, mash them, and it's easier if they're a little bit softer. That's why I left these 2 out on the counter. I wanted to show you just how I do it. And then you just pour half a cup of cream and some sugar over them and let them sit in the refrigerator for a while to let the flavors blend. But I just want to show you what I mean about mashing them. So you just take, I find the pastry cutter works really well. You just kind of mash them with that, and then you can take the fork and kind of go through the pastry cutter and use them both together. But you want to make sure that they're this kind of mash. It lets the juice release from the strawberries really great. So it kind of looks, it's all mashed up, and then we're going to add that to what I had already set aside so that we have it all mixed together. And then after it sits for a little while, we want to make some whipped cream. And to make fresh whipped cream, you take some heavy cream. I have a cup here, and it helps. I had already chilled this bowl in the freezer and the beater. It really helps to have a chilled bowl and beaters to make whipped cream. It whips better. And the other thing is, typically with whipped cream, you're going to add sugar to the whipped cream. But since we already have sugar in the strawberries, the mixture, we're not going to add it to the cream. So you just, pour the cream in the bowl, and you put it like on a medium speed at first, and then you can increase it to a higher speed as you see the cream starting to whip. And you just don't want to over whip it, because then it becomes like you're basically churning butter if you do that. So you don't want to let it go too far. So now once all the strawberries are mashed, you have this really nice thick soupy consistency. It's a pretty pink color, as you can see here, really gorgeous. And I have the whipped cream is done, so I'm going to take that, the mixer, and then what you do is you can just put it in a dessert dish like this. You have a nice amount of strawberries there, like that. And then I'm just going to take a little of the whipped cream and kind of smooth it on the top there. And you have like a nice little swirly pattern with the whipped cream. And there you go. You have a really nice dessert for if you have your own strawberry fete or festival, or your own kettledrum, whatever they, however they did it in the Gilded Age, or just for your next party. Thanks.